Welcome everyone, it's Unstoppable Sweater here with yet another Age of Empires 3 Diviv Edition caster game. So this time we got ourselves the Maltese and French against the Chinese and Aztecs on what looks to be the Florida map. Before we get started, let's review what Florida is all about. So in, the nice sunny state of Florida, you got the coastline of course with plenty of whales and fish if you want to go for a fish boom. The main area is the sort of the grassy part with the trade route that goes through here. You get a total of 5 train posts that you can pull from if you want to, which is pretty useful in a Supremacy. Not to mention some Seminole and is this Carib natives, yeah. So you get some decent archer native warriors as well on both sides of the grassland. And then in the back you get the swamp area. Note that in these murky parts of the swamp you can't actually construct buildings, but you can walk through it. Just watch what's underneath, since a gator, in the real world you could probably easily get bitten by a gator in that swamp, but here they didn't add that effect unfortunately, so we'll have to wait for another time for that. But anyways, let's get started. Alright, so who do we have here? French? Yeah, Frenchie. So France in Supremacy 2 versus 2 has a lot of flexibility. We saw them, we saw them like the 2 past caster games, right? So in general, France loves to go fast fortress as soon as possible, even if they have to sell for a semi-FF. They also love trading posts. That's why this is being constructed like ASAP. What convenient thing for France that the train post was sitting right there for them too. Also, looks like the ally, the Maltese, are also grabbing a trading post. The Maltese, on the other hand, like to sort of do pike and shot gameplay in the early game. And overall, the Maltese are great defensively. So they'll do a pretty good job at defending their French ally here, as well as providing some decent trash units early on. They can also boom up pretty well with the Wignacourt constructions card as well, so we'll see if that ends up working out pretty good. As for the opponents over here, we got the Chinese as well as the Aztecs. These two civs do really well in Supremacy situations. The Chinese rely more on their unit massing with their old Han army initially, and then they can move towards the territorial army later on. Or they can just go up with a FF of their own, which they have some pretty good builds for. I've gone both methods, and I would say that if you can go for an FF with China, it's always recommended. And then finally we got the Aztecs. Aztecs, they really want to focus mostly on their community plaza. Hence that's why we have the warrior priest there. The warrior priest just happens to provide even more weight, as they call it, to the community plaza than a villager, meaning that the dance's effect will be stronger if you're including warrior priests over regular villagers. And later on, they do get a dance that actually produces warrior priests from the community plaza, and that's usually what they're going to use to try to stack up more warrior priests to increase the effect of the community plaza. And then you can move over to other things like the fertility dance right here, which is being used right now to improve the training rate of units. The warrior one to increase damage. The community plaza is like the heart of the Aztec civ, and from there they can choose to either go, all in attack age 2 with their war hut units, or they can go fast fortress with their noble hut units, Arrow Knight, Eagle Warrior, Jaguar Knight. Alright, so in general, deck wise, to be honest, I think they might have intent to go with a age 2 strategy, because I see many unit shipments here. Warrior priests, the coyotes, the spearmen, and the Entente slingers as well, not to mention some canoes for water combat. Yeah, so if the French and Maltese team tries to go with a sort of fishing ships here, the Aztecs are going to have a bit of a counter to that with those canoes. As for the Chinese, what are the Chinese up to? So Chinese, in general, it looks like they're going to go all in age 2, I believe. I definitely don't see a lot of cause to think that they're going to go FF here. We're missing a lot of essential FF cards for China here, like the volley one, the ones for the territorial combat, the ones shipments of arquebusiers, Changdaos, handmores. Yeah, they got to be going either like all in H2 or doing some FI thing. Even then, I would say an FI would be unlikely because all you would get is like this big mass of Quangs. Totally not worth it. So yeah, they gotta be doing like an H2 strat. Now, this is interesting. Temple of Heaven. This is something I rarely ever see. Whenever you go China, you seem to always go with the Summer Palace. Because it's such a good age-up option. 400 food, plus the ability to produce banner armies over time. The fact that they're going with the Wonder that heals units instead. That's something pretty different than I'm not used to. I don't know what sort of build this is. We're going to have to pay quite a bit of attention to what they're doing. And for the other ones, France. Yeah, Frenchie's totally looking good if they go FF, I would say. They got the Falcons, the Dragoon, the Skirm Shipment, the Crates. Yeah, they could do a pretty good FF. And what's Malta doing? So Malta, where did they get this commandery from? We're going to have to see what's going on with this. Is this part of the... Oh, of the German tongue. Alright, yeah. See, the way Malta works is they ship either 3 settlers or distributivism would trickle first, and then followed after that you can ship the German tongue. It's really a powerful economic shipping for the Maltese because it grants them access to settler wagons, giving you 2 from the start, and then you can train an additional 4 of them with a build limit of 6. Putting them in really good shape economically. And it looks like with all the momentum of that wood trickle, they're going to be shipping in the British tongue now, which is going to access the Maltese to the longbowmen, and they're going to be able to train additional ones from these commanderies as well. Note that these longbowmen are semi-considered consulate units in the sense that you don't have to upgrade them, you know. They shadow tech with each age up. So you really don't have to worry about upgrade costs and upkeep in their stats because they take care of that for you, which is going to be pretty helpful when you're defending these waves of Skull Knights and Coyotes. Yeah, let's see if they can do that. Let's see if they can defend this properly. So what are they going to do for their attack? It looks like it's going to be Old Han armies and Coyotes for the Chinese and the Aztecs. They're also going to ship in some Anton Slingers for a bit of anti-heavy infantry. What's going to be the French response? Are they going that Fortress Age as we speak? Well, switch troop. Is that what that means? Well, we see France going Hussar with the stable, and they're going to be shipping some coin in. Let's see, though, how they can handle this defense, though, because right now it looks a little dicey. Thankfully, though, you got some commanderies, which is some really nice defensive structures here to buy yourself some time. Let's see if the Hussars will be able to dip in and out and slice through some of these Truconus in particular. And also the Antonins when they arrive. Yeah, here they are. You can dispatch them right now if you like charge down super quickly. Also, here's the longbowmen from the British tongue card. Also, Minutemen can be added too. Yeah, try not to let those longbowmen get targeted by the Coyotes, so yeah, put the Minutemen right in the front since they're going to lose HP anyways. Take out the Coyotes, but I think they'll be in better shape. Because all you'll have to deal with then is the archers and the spearmen, which the longbowmen do really well with. Those Hussars are being pursued pretty heavily by the Quangs, taking them out pretty quickly, leaving the longbowmen exposed to the Coyotes now. How many more Coyotes are there? Well, it doesn't look like there's a lot of them, thankfully. Yeah, you could just do some kiting tactics to take out those Quangs. Biggest threat is honestly that Shaolin monk, though, using those kung fu moves on you, dealing critical damage. Thankfully, another batch of Hussars have arrived to provide some assistance. They're going to focus on that Aztec war chief now. That's always a good idea to snipe because it does provide an HP aura around the Aztec units. So if you can snipe him, those Coyotes are going to be a lot easier to hit with those arrows. An Eagle Scout taken out. well as some more coyotes. Yeah, those coyotes should be charging directly at those longbowmen. They shouldn't be engaging with the hussars at all, because they're just going to lose in that conflict. But here comes more coyotes. Now they're focusing on those courier de bois. Still not focusing on the longbowmen, which is a bit of a problem. But oh look, the town center is about to go down now. Got some sentinels here as well, providing some defense a little bit. See, the sentinels actually gain additional HP when near defensive structures like town centers, commanderies, outposts. Now that the town center's down, their HP has gone down as a result, putting them in a bit of a weaker position. Also note that they're actually 2-pop heavy infantry as well, so they're definitely a lot tankier than your standard musketeer in every situation, pretty much. Yeah, back up, your town center is gone, you really shouldn't have to defend this position anymore. Get ready to defend the French position. Try to keep these longbows away from the front lines if possible. Yeah, use that hussar and just cut down these kite. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, quangs, yeah, that's right. This is a scary situation. You have to deal with the coyotes attacking your archers, but you have to worry about the quangs cutting through your hussars within a matter of seconds. This is some really intense micro here by the, notice how the British are making sure to stay to the sidelines and try to target the units one by one, trying to cut them down, to buy them some time. Yeah, for the hussars to go for the completely exposed Anton and slingers here. That was a really good maneuver by the French to take out some units pretty easily. But the quangs, still a problem though, still cutting into them. Thankfully, quangs a lot weaker than the average pikemen, so you can actually fight them in certain numbers, which unfortunately you can't right now because, well, there's still a certain number of them. Got an outpost here as the Frenchies, so you have a little bit of defense. Also, yeah, use your courier de bois as a defensive mechanism. These villagers are really good for fighting, especially in ranged combat. They get almost 300 HP with the market technologies, and they get 40% pierce armor, giving them the same tankiness as a Jaeger pretty much. So if you can, in limited numbers, definitely engage with military with couriers when you have nothing else. And in this case, I feel like just because they're dealing just enough damage, 8 damage apiece, they're able to target down one of these weak Chinese units one by one. Coyotes are obviously the biggest threat though, since they're going to try to engage with you in melee. But as far as that's concerned, the outposts is going to help with that because they do actually have some multipliers against cavalry units, including the light shock infantry. So definitely put up a lot of outposts if you think you're going to be dealing with a lot of Aztec pressure, because that tower is going to do some insane damage to those coyote warriors. And as a result, we finally see the Aztec and Chinese forces cut down the size a little bit. So I feel like at this point they should be able to clean this up and maybe deter aggression for a little bit. Oh, wait a minute, we got the Step Riders. Step Rider shipment has arrived. These are a pretty dangerous unit too. They have some multipliers against skirmisher units, making them a pretty formidable unit. The catch of them though was the fact that they were a 1-pop cav unit instead of a 2-pop one. Oh, but they fell right into the Maltese pikemen though. Ouch. That was a waste of a shipment right there. You gotta watch out for that stuff, man. You can't look just like your cavalry shipment get eaten up that quickly by pikemen of all things. Yeah. Watch out for that stuff. I like this courier de bois micro here by the French. Going in the tower, out of the tower. This is really messing up their attack, and it's prolonging more time, giving the Maltese a bit of extra seconds to send some help in. Now they got their pikemen ready to deal with the coyotes. They're going to be cleaned up rather quickly, and then the longbowmen will be able to finish off those Chukonu with the pikemen's assistance right now. Yeah, and I think at this point it's safe to say that your threat is gone now. Question is, what do you do from here? Malta has already had to reconstruct their base pretty much. France is probably still on edge a little bit after losing so many courier de bois. Let's see what the enemy team does as well. Like, how are they going to try to capitalize on this? Also, not a bad idea for Malta to get medicine. Medicine makes your villagers cheaper and they train quicker. In this case, your Maltese settler number is probably below par right now because of all those attacks. So do whatever you can to improve that train rate so you can catch up in villager numbers. Because right now, 18 villagers at this stage, 16 on the field, not counting the settler wagons. I mean, that's pretty slow right now. I mean, let's look at China, for instance. Where's China in all this? China right now? Yeah, 21 villagers on the field, and then they got like 3 more queuing in. Yeah, definitely ahead. How about Aztecs with their community plaza in effect? Well, they're right now going to have close to 17, it looks like. 17 villies. 18 on the field, 1 coming in. Oh, so this is going to be a repeat of what we saw Aaliyah doing on the Manchuria map the other day. The Aztecs going for the water boom on the side. And they even sent out Team Texcoco fishing boats. Fishing boats are cheaper for the entire team thanks to the Aztec boat construction techniques of Lake Texcoco. And then they got schooners as well. This means that this is going to be a very fish boomy deck for the Aztecs. Neat up. Yeah, this is where France really shines, is with the Fortress Age. If you're not in the Fortress Age as the Frenchies, you're going to be a bit behind overall. So I do recommend that, yeah, they get there as soon as possible. Age up. I do need to for shipments. For the Falconet shipment, the Skirm shipment, the Dragoon shipment. The only way I really see you like stamping out these weak trash cardboard units here is basically with cannons and skirms. What do you need? What do you need? Well, they could use some food. They could use some coin. About 700 food and 500 coin would get you there. This is to survive 120 seconds. So about 2 minutes of survival here against the Tri-Ming Trufa Hauda army, as well as some of the Kamanse Aztec Cherry Oak warriors. Yeah. Sounds like a challenge, to say the least. I can send Raze. How much does he have? Enough to get him across the finish line? Yeah, well, in food, I think. Not yet. Need to be near. Yeah, I think at this point it's better that Maltese just try to get as much pikemen and longbowmen out right now to defend the ally. Nice score. Yeah, he's doing really well score-wise right now. He's really capitalizing on the Wignacourt Constructions card, granting his units 30% improved gather rate from trees when they're near the town center. Also counts for mining, hunting, and berry bushes. Basically, all those natural resource gather rates go up by 30% as long as you're near a defensive structure like a town center, a tower, like an outpost, a commandery, anything like that. It's really useful. Really useful. And because of that, Malta is able to keep out a constant stream of longbowmen from their commanderies, which is going to be instrumental in not only dealing with, heavy infantry, but I think at this early stage they're going to do really well against Chuko News before they get that Industrial Age card boost. Once they get that, they can become pretty ferocious, but before that, you got some chances of dealing with them in smaller numbers, which they certainly are here. For all that pressure that the Aztecs and Chinese were doing, their army is pretty meager right now. They gotta do some growing of their own. I think it's gonna be a while before the Aztecs really gets that. Well, never mind. It looks like their boom is doing pretty effective even before the schooners arrives to make the fishing boats even cheaper to go on to the war. What would they cost with that? Well, with that first card they sent, the Texcoco one, they're about 50 wood. And after this, they're going to be about, we'll see pretty briefly, 30 wood fishing boats. That is very, very cheap. Like, I know the value of food and wood is different, but if you were to make that into food, that'd be like 3 villagers for the cost of 1. That is really cheap. Dirt cheap, actually. I could see Aztecs totally going for a huge stack of like 20 or so fishing boats or something on that water. It also looks like China's going to take a share of it as well, going for a double duck themselves. They were definitely benefiting from that Texaco team card of the Aztecs making their fishing boats cheap. We also notice France going up with the Fortress Age right now. Malta is as well, and China is. So everybody's going to Fortress Age around the same time. I think the big difference, though, is France has the shipments to make a lot out of it. China does not. You know, best they're going to get is probably some unit upgrades out of it. Maybe they can switch the territorial army and, you know, switch to the Changdao Arquebusier composition, perhaps. Again, why not have the volley card in there to give you that extra set of multipliers for your Choconu and your Arquebusiers? Because now they're just going to have that much more trouble trying to deal with masses of pikemen now. So China's switching to Russian allies. To me, that sounds like I'm going to get a fort wagon and I'm going to set it either at the forward base or I'm going to set that at the home to protect the wonders and protect the town center. The fort could be a really good defensive structure here for you, especially when you see France going on the attack now with hussars, trying to make up for those lost villager counts that they lost before. Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job with that because I saw them both taking out Aztec and Chinese villagers altogether. 5 villager. Perfect. Those are the types of engagements you're going to need to cut out the Aztec economy and Chinese one as much as possible. Unfortunately for you, they're going full water boom, so that's going to be an economic piece that you're not going to be able to counter very easily, you know. It's not easy to go right on the water. It's 200 wood to put a dock up. It's even more wooden coin to put down a warship, especially since Aztecs do have a canoe shipment to counter that. Hussars are going to take one more villager as they're heading out. Oh, Malta's going to build in the swamp. Yeah, I see a lot of players both in Moore's Liberty and D put the town center right in the swamp area. I don't know why they put it in the swamp. Maybe because it's harder to rush it because you can't construct as many buildings in the swamp. That could totally be it, I think. But I'm not too sure myself. What Confucius Gift? Yeah, this is a pretty powerful card. It allows all the shipments to arrive almost instantly. We see either Leah or Tushki, whoever sent me that recording, basically uses that all the time in Treaty or in Deathmatch to make the Flying Crows come out like instantly. The Infinite Flying Crow shipment, so yeah, that's a pretty powerful card. You know, do they have any infinite shipments? They do not. But I guess if you want to use these crates, you could still use it for maybe that. Not as impressive, but I guess it's something at least. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you don't have any infinite shipments in your deck when you're sending Confucius Gift, that's not really a deck in my opinion. It's more of a joke. Well, what isn't going to be a joke, though, is 3 queues of territorial armies coming out in flamethrowers. That's going to be a serious threat here. Oh, wow, look at this, though. France moving forward with their Fortress Age shipments. They got the Skirmisher shipments coming out. They got the Dragoon one in effect. Yeah, France is definitely pretty active right now. They just need the Falconet ship and they're pretty much all set in terms of their Age 3 potential. Oh no, the Dragoons get snared, then the pikemen are going to eat them. Oh no, that's not good. At least your ally, the Maltese, has a big mass of archers right now. These are basically veteran archers. Remember, they do get shadow tech, so these are veteran archers, even without any upgraded resources put into upgrading them. So they're 20 damage apiece, not bad. Then the multiplier add in, even better. These longbowmen so numerous right now, I feel. But oh wow, look at that luck though from the Shaolin monk though. Again, and a lot of casualties there, and as a result, creating additional disciples from those defeated enemies. The disciples themselves are considered, I think aren't they considered? Yeah, they're shock infantry, so they're the same as coyote runners. They're basically foot cavalry, good against archers. Yeah, you don't usually see that many disciples coming out of an engagement usually. Typically, the Shaolin monk will typically take like 1 or 2 disciples at most. I think I saw like 3 or something from there. That's pretty insane. It definitely makes the fight a lot harder when it's successful, because then basically the enemy skirmishers end up getting ripped through by those things, and it can turn into a pretty quick virus and more disciples coming out of them. I don't use a lot of disciples, believe it or not. I don't know why. It's definitely a good unit. Yeah, at this point, Malta's definitely ready to go on the advance now. They got the pikes to siege those buildings down, defend against Cav, and then the longbowmen just deal with everything else. Oh, nope. Watch out for the flamethrowers, though. Flamethrowers, that's probably going to be your next big threat. Yeah, once those flamethrowers get into range, they have no problem in through infantry. Oh, wow. How did that go down? Oh, falconets! I didn't even notice those. The falconet shipment in France arrived. Now the flamethrowers are basically sitting ducks, because all it takes is like a targeting from those falconets and those flamethrowers are toast. Literally burnt to a crisp like that. Did you see them explode? Oh, that one, yep. Falconets are a hard counter to flamethrowers, believe it or not. No. Flamethrowers are one of the weirder artillery units in AW3. And basically any cannon will take them out just because they have that range advantage on them, plus the crush damage completely negates the armor. If you don't have artillery though, then flamethrowers are a serious threat that you must truly be fearful of. Oh, look at that little wall there to try to protect the cannon. Kinda clever. You should have recorded this. What do you mean? I'm casting it right now, man. Do you not know about Unstoppable Stoetzi and his wonderful channel of casting games? This is why I'm here, man. Something that you don't want to cast or record, I take care of it for you. Big bad boom. Done. And boy, is this a good game. I mean, this is a really good comeback from the French and the Maltese. You know, it's not easy dealing with a lot of pressure like that, you know, having literally one of your players' town centers completely wrecked and then still coming back. Because now what it looks like is happening is now they got themselves the necessary mass to fight back now. You see the longbowmen doing well. We do see the hoop throwers coming in as well with the rocket upgrade and industrial age applied. So now they're going to be able to shoot units at long range with their rocket launchers now. Yeah, this is looking pretty much perfect for the multiplayer, and France should have an easy time riding along that momentum as well. Oh wow, look at these hoop throwers. They actually countered the flamethrowers surprisingly well with these rockets. I never thought of hoop throwers being a solid counter to the flamethrowers, but I guess it's an extension of what you can do with grenadiers, right? When I used to play arena, well, I still play arena. Whenever I do arena and I'm dealing with like a Chinese opponent making flamethrowers, sometimes what I find useful is make a bunch of grenadiers. Even in the legacy tag game, grenadiers can be an awfully good unit to deal with flamethrowers. It gets the flesh damage and the splash. You know, if you're dealing with like a clump of like 5 flamethrowers, grenadiers will completely eat that up. And then you can then use the grenadiers to attack things like skirmishers, like musketeers. Really a number of things. Now they have to take down the fort, it looks like. I think with the hoop rockets though, it should be pretty easy. Drop for a fair amount of siege. Yeah, look at that. Look at how easy that fort's going down now. Do the opponents even have like a measure to deal with this? Well, looks like... Wait a second. So they're gonna get Arrow Knights? Arrow Knights. What do they have on the French side for artillery? So the French went for the advanced artillery card, it looks like, thus the free mortar. They can train additional mortars and horse artillery now in H3 with that card. Let's see if the Arrow Knights actually serve much of a purpose in this situation. Nice turnaround. Yep, definitely a good turnaround. Because now I feel like China and Aztecs really have no solution to this problem. Right, like Arrow Knights? What are you going to do with Arrow Knights? And then he's going to get like Champion Arrow Knight? No, for the Ententes. Alright, so these are going to be guard level slingers. You're going to have just veteran Arrow Knights, champion Coyote Warriors, so these would be guard level Coyotes. Not a good unit mass. I mean, for all the upgrades you get, you don't have the army mass to justify it right now. I think that's going to be a bit of a problem for you. Also, China, they got, like, what, one of the cavalry banner armies here with the iron flails and the meteor hammers. They got a here. But nothing on the field, nothing on the ground. Hand mortars, well, yeah, I mean, hand mortars could be very good here, but not a lot. Oh, flamethrower. Flamethrowers? No, you just saw what the hoop throwers just did to him. Don't do that. That's not going to help you out too much. Go with the hand mortars at least. The hand mortars, you know, they got some range to deal with the rockets potentially. You're not going to get anywhere near them with the flamethrowers. Arrow Knights not even focusing on the cannons. Yeah, this is not looking good. Are they focusing on the cannons? Where are they firing? They might have been firing at the force arc. Sorry, I did see it just get cut into a little bit. Yeah, good turnaround. Now there's really nothing they can do pretty much at this point. Yeah, and then the hoop throwers, once again, the close range, they can start to fling their hoops at them. And the long range ones shoot the rockets. Yeah, hoop throwers, very strong unit for the Malta Civ. You know, we were first introduced to them in the campaign, of course, many years ago. But as they became a official civ of the game, hoop thrower continues to be a pretty good siege unit with really good stats against infantry. And that, mind you, they're not even using their flamethrower weapon. If we add the flamethrower weapon in this match, I think they'd be getting even more casualties against their opponents. Definitely. So these are some irregulars. Talk about being desperate at this point, having to send the irregulars out. Now the irregulars, they're a little bit better because they do actually have a multiplier against them because they're siege units. They get the siege trooper tag on them, so yeah. Emergency units stuff, they do a little bit better. Yeah, like, is the, what are the Aztecs doing? Is Aztec getting... I was going to see if they were going to make those emergency archers, you know, because that could be another thing you could do to try to deal with the hoopies, is hit them with the emergency archers. Since they're emergency units, they get anti-siege multipliers. So now that the village is garrison, you're not going to get that support. Dragoons, the perfect complement, just enough to deal with the coyotes coming out of the war huts. The mortars still left over, adding some siege in. Horse artillery as well is still alive, firing some anti-infantry. A culverin to deal with cannons that comes out of China. Yeah, this is a good victory here, I feel like, for this team. Well earned one too. I mean, they really struggled hard to survive those initial fights. Definitely. Yeah, now these Aztec units totally not enough to deal with. You can guard coyote runners. Nowhere near close enough to deal with the dragoons. Nowhere near close. And then let's take up the town center. 100 bills. Oh, 100 villagers. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, look at that score. Like, 46k score on the map. That is really good work. I mean, and you're the one that was victimized the most during that initial attack, and you're the one with the most score right now. That shows you this is a true master of the Maltese Civ. Really knows how to play quite well. True Maltese master. Yeah, and I think they just finish up this wonder or two and they should be done. Yep. Also nice walls there, good defenses overall. France can go up industrial age again, anything. Truthfully, it looks like France has just been trying to help their ally out and won't even focus too much on industrial. Again, P-Tards too, so P-Tards will definitely be good for the siege. So where are these guys going? Oh, so here comes another wave of flamethrowers and some territorial armies. Ah, yeah, look at those rockets though. Flamethrowers being decimated to nothing. Keeps harping on this use of the flamethrowers and it's just not cutting out very good. What I would probably do is I would go for a mass of those Iron Flail and Meteor Hammer armies. That's what I would do. Even then, you're going to have to deal with the Dragoons, which, you know, shows you how dire your situation is. But, yeah, at least then you would be cutting through the Hoopers a lot easier. And maybe you could attack those remaining French cannons. And then from there, you can get Territorial Army to deal with the French Dragoons. Screenshot. Oh, so they saved screenshots of this too. Must have been a very exciting game. Bet it was. What am I saying? I've casted this thing. It was an exciting game. Real exciting game. Yeah, look at all this fishing on the water by the Aztec and China team. It's still not enough to actually pull off a victory here. Yeah, that just shows you sometimes you could have like the whole ocean to yourself. All that fish to eat. And you're still going to end up getting defeated in the end. Good sign of how good defenses, good unit management, good migration tactics when you're in retreat can definitely pull off a good win like this. And Senegalese is going to come out, yeah, good work. Yeah, resources, like look at Malta's resource count. You really had 2 players with the unrestricted fishing boom, Aztecs and China. Malta still had a better resource output than they did. Really insane. You know? And yeah, they had more coin than them, and they had a lot more wood. And I think that's what basically gave them the needs they had to for the commanderies to defend. All those hoop throwers, which also have a wood cost. Yeah, that was pretty good work from Malta. And then in terms of military output, yeah, look at that kill count from those hoop throwers. Far more than anything that these aggressive Chinese and the Aztecs got. Even the France outperformed these two. You know, just playing Dragoons and early horse artillery mortar play was able to deal with them quite nicely. I was honestly very shocked with all the booming that the Chinese and Aztecs were doing. Why they didn't build a large mass of something, right? They could have gone with the Eagle Knights, they could have gone with, you know, some more of those Iron Flails, they could have done something a bit different. They just kept falling back on flamethrowers that were keep getting sniped by the hoop throwers without changing up the comp at all, and I think that's what led to their demise. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching that one. That was a really spicy one. It was actually sent to me a number of weeks ago, I think, and I was just finding it now. So I wanted to definitely make sure I didn't leave any recordings behind. As long as they don't out of sync, of course, because, you know, that always happens. But, see you in the next one we do. Sign off now from this one. GG, players.